Eddie, what you making?
Soup.
Filipino food.
Yes.
Yes.
It tastes nice though.
Oh yeah?
Anyways, we'll figure it out.
We will find out. Another day off to work. Okay, let's go off to work. So I thought I would say a few things while I'm on my way to work. I just want to talk about Batman vs Superman basically because I mean it's been out for a month, so I know it's late news. I understand everybody's talked about it and the main point's been made about various YouTubers. Everyone out there has just said the same thing. What are the five things that people have said that's like been bad about the movie? What are the five? Okay, the five bad things they've said about the movie is number one, the story doesn't make sense, which of course I absolutely agree with. I don't know how the hell it got through the process and came out that way and everyone was happy to release it that way. That just didn't make sense. Okay, number two is definitely Lex Luthor. Everyone hates Lex Luthor. Well, not everyone, but mostly people hate Lex Luthor, the way he's portrayed by Jesse Eisenberg. I actually didn't mind him too much. I thought it was fine. He could have pulled off crazy, but unfortunately, I think people were too much against it before it even came out. And you'll notice that people who saw the saw the movie before it even came out, like what do they call it? The media release. The people who saw the press release, all the hype and all the actors were there and all that kind of stuff, they thought, most of them, you look at the YouTube, they say it was awesome, Jesse, it was different, but it was fine. It's the people who have watched the reviews, then got to see the film and gone like, oh, okay, I hated him and blah, blah, blah. So I feel like there's a little element of brainwashing there, but I can also see why it's a, controversial topic. Number three, definitely everyone talks about how they tried to cram in, or the guy walking his dog. So trying to cram in Dawn of Justice into the whole thing. They're trying to make it into a Dawn of Justice introduction. And of course, you can do that. Go nuts, for sure. The problem is you've got the precedence of the Marvel films here now, and so they've done, what, how many movies? 13 movies over 8 years or whatever to get their precedent set. We know all the characters, we know where they're from, we know their struggles and so forth. And DC, the guys at DC decided, and the guys at Warner Brothers decided, fuck it, we need to go for it. So they just introduced, or tried to cram all the characters in. They didn't involve them in the plot though. They just introduced what they look like and their names and their symbols. So big mistake, I think. Yeah, of course. Number four is definitely everyone hates the inclusion. Well, not everyone again. It's just the people who are like, really into this kind of stuff. It's just the inclusion of Doomsday. Not only was Doomsday very different from the way they portrayed him in the comics. I don't actually read comics, but that's what everybody tells me. But also his inclusion just was too much too soon. It was a villain that didn't make sense. We didn't know why he was here. We didn't know what his powers were very clearly. And yeah, just silly inclusion overall. And then the whole fight scene at the end, which was, it was spoiled in the trailer. It was spoiled in the trailer. And they said on Twitter, oh no, there's more, I promise of course. No, there's no more. That was it. That was the whole thing. Number five, definitely the fifth and final thing that everybody sort of says, this is the worst thing about the movie, and that is the sudden resolution between Batman and Superman. Okay, so they suddenly say, oh, we got the mothers of the same name, that's awesome, and now we're friends. Like, Batman literally gives up his entire quest. He spent months hating Superman. He spent so much time in the gym, working out, trying to get better, all this preparedness, because of all this motivation, saying, I need to get rid of Superman, I need to fight this guy, he's in danger. There's only a 1% chance we need to get rid of him, blah, blah, blah. So Batman's like, yeah, absolutely, I'm going to put all this effort, money, time, all spent in taking this guy down. But literally, as soon as he said the guy's name is Martha, it triggered something in his head. And now my mother's name is Martha as well. I guess we're friends now, and the plot, you just stand there. Even people who have no idea what the hell these characters are, they understand that that's absolute crap. So what are the three things everybody seems to like about this movie? Okay, number one. Everyone thinks on YouTube, everyone thinks that Ben Affleck did a great job, and I tend to agree. I mean, he's got a big thing to live up to with Christian Bale's precedent and Christopher Nolan's direct input as the director of those movies, and now that Christopher Nolan is the executive producer, not directly involved with the film in terms of on the set and so forth, he had a big thing to live up to. But Ben Affleck, I think, I agree, he did a great job. So good job. His suits are awesome. The way he's acting is awesome. He never like overdoes it or underdoes it. Yeah, he did a great job. Number two, everybody talks about how good Alfred is. Jeremy Irons, everybody talks about how he did a great job. He was literally only in like 4 scenes. He must have had only about 10 lines in the whole film. So I think at that point, people are just looking for things to like. And they just, because Jeremy Irons is generally considered an extremely good actor and he's been in a lot of fantastic movies over the many years he's been acting, I think people are just like, well, he didn't do anything bad, so he must be awesome. So they're grabbing him and going like, he was amazing. He was like competent. He just did his job and he did his job well. So yeah, I guess I agree. Number 3, definitely everyone is talking about the introduction of Wonder Woman, and they're talking about her inclusion at the end as well. There was a lot of trepidation about whether or not she'd be good or not. Gal Gadot, who had to work out quite a lot, put on a bit of muscle to try and live up to everybody's expectations, and everybody says she does a good job, even though again she's only got a few lines, she's only got a few scenes in there, especially her scene at the end, and that she's the only good part of that last finale of the movie. So the third part, definitely everybody loves Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman as a character. So there's a summary of basically everything, generally what people are saying about Batman v Superman on YouTube, and I generally agree with all of those statements. I mean, you go through Rotten Tomatoes, there's so many reviews about it, and the score now I think is about 25% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I know people use that as a universal scale these days, and empirically I think it's a really good helpful tool indicating which direction a movie's going in terms of popularity. But as a tool of whether or not a movie is good or bad, I think obviously from a scientific point of view you can't use that as a measuring stick. You really can't, because watching a movie and enjoying a movie is a subjective experience, it's not objective. It's like any piece of art, it means something different to someone else. So, but from my point of view, incredibly disappointing. Not so much that they just were ambitious and try to put stuff in, because like lots of movies can do that. Lots of movies you can try to put stuff in. You look at the Avengers films and you look at the recent Civil War film, they put a lot of stuff in there, a lot of characters, a lot of plot points, a lot of settings, a lot of things in there, and so you can do it. The problem that I don't get is you have a movie where you have thrown the budget of a small country into a film. You have paid everyone and bought everything that you possibly need to make a piece of art that lasts for 2.5 hours. Like, there is nothing else on this planet artwork that I'm aware of that you can spend that much money on to produce a good result or a bad result. And the fact that in the end, in the editing room, they pressed the enter key on finishing the editing the film, and they thought that was fine, and then they show it to the executives or whoever they showed to pre-screening, and they said, what do you think? And they went, that's fine, don't change it. And then they put it into public distribution and put it out there. I don't understand. I really don't. It's almost like Warner Brothers are deliberately shooting themselves in the foot. I really don't get it. Either that or just completely blind to what the public perceive good movies are, or what the public perceive good superhero movies are. So that really, it kind of disturbs me a little bit, because honestly, the reason I love movies so much is not because they're such a good entertaining medium, but because they are the biggest, they have the largest budget of any art form in the entire world. On a weekly basis, more money is put into this art form, the cinema, than any other art form in the world. And as a result, people expect that if there's more money, that means there's more quality. And what's interesting is that even though these studios' executives' jobs and careers are on the line, the studio's bank is on the line, they still don't measure, or they don't work out whether a movie is going to be good or not before they release it. They just think it's good, throw it out there without actually checking is it actually good, or get people's opinions on it before you put it out there. I just don't understand it. If I had over $400 million invested in something, hoping to get my money back, I would put it through multiple checks to see whether the quality was good enough to earn the money that it needed to make. I wouldn't just put it through a couple of checks, go whatever, and put it out there, and then have everyone just go like, oh, actually it sucks. It just blows me away. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Okay, we're here.